Hey, good afternoon, Beachcombers. It is Monday. That means it's time for another Beachcomber store review. And with me in the hot seat / the beach chair is Matt. Hey, Matt, what's happening, man?
Hey, not much. How you doing?
I'm pretty good. Excited that it's Monday. I spent the last 2 weeks cleaning my house and my office, and they're clean. It's nice to walk into work and be like, oh, it's clean, So I'm that rare weirdo that's like, yay, Monday.
All right.
I am excited to have a clean office and get working on some other projects. All right, so let me see here. What do I want to show first? Okay, let's do it this way. All right, good to see everybody in the chat. Hello, Elisa and Kevin and Bri, and who else is in there? Karen, Romper Bomper Stomper Doo. All right. Now, where in the world did you come up with a name for your eBay store?
I've changed it a number of times, and I was getting to so many different items. I just thought, a lot of clothes, a lot of collectibles that people kind of store in their closet, things like that. And then I was switching it. I was going to switch it because my wife and I just started our own home business with a different name. When I was trying to switch it, and eBay had some difficulties switching the name of my store, so I switched it back to that.
Okay, well, I like it. Now, obviously, you just did a quick, here is my logo font. And I don't hate the font, but it is too thin and small.
Yes.
And so if you look at like something on an iPhone, here's what you see.
All right.
Okay. So you got to think about that. So it's got to be big and bold. And just to give you an example, here's my two. So they really stand out and it really paints the picture. You can hire somebody to do your graphic. You can borrow graphics. I've seen people do that. My buddy who designed the logo for a home tiki bar, there's a seller that basically borrowed all his art and built this gorgeous looking store with his art without his permission. And I said to my friend, I go, dude, you're not going to do anything about this? He goes, nah, my friend's way too nice. I'm like, that dude just stole all your art to build his store out with. At least ask for permission. I mean, if nothing else. But yeah, so you definitely want to get something a little bigger and bolder. Like if you're going to just stick with that, that's cool. Thicken it up and then put on like a bright pink background or something else, just so it kind of fills the space and doesn't get lost when people look at it.
All right.
All right. So as we've started to do, since that's the new thing, let's look at your feedback. And you only have one neutral, so your feedback's looking pretty good. So the customer said shipping was outrageous. So what can you tell me about your outrageous shipping?
It was USPS Parcel Select. It was a pair of Harley saddlebags.
Right. So what I'm assuming the price in the listing was the price you charge. Yes.
Yes, correct.
So he was fully aware. Now this is something you definitely could have got rid of by calling eBay.
Oh, I asked the customer and he just ignored me, so I just put a comment underneath it.
He's angry because he doesn't know how to read. I've been doing this for 21 years. I can see that a mile away.
Yeah, I could have put the shipping into the item cost and did a free shipping, and maybe I would have been better off that way. So
that would have changed him, but because your shipping price was fully there, no surprises, and that's what he agreed to when he entered in the contract to purchase your item, eBay would have happily removed that. It's too late now, but in the future, if you get a negative or a neutral, if you're not even sure, pop it in the secret beach. I'll let you know. Some things are removable, and then some things get removed that shouldn't be. So you can always call on any one of them, even if they aren't legit removals. They might remove them if you get a brand new customer service rep who's just like, oh, okay. But I had a neutral expunged today thanks to the buyer. I totally screwed up, and so did my assistant a little bit. She said, hey, I'm going to buy these 3 things. Can you combine shipping and and not charge so much? I said yes, forgot. But when my assistant went to ship it, she should have seen, hey, 3 things are going to one person, and made it one package. She made it 3 separate packages. So both of us kind of dropped the ball. And so before she didn't reply back to me and say, hey man, what happened? She just left neutral feedback. And I reached out and said, holy crap, I am so sorry. Yes, I totally screwed up. My assistant screwed up a little bit. Let me refund you some money. And so I didn't ask for a feedback removal. I just said, yeah, whoops. here's half your shipping money back. And she said, oh, is there a way for me to remove my feedback?
Oh, nice.
And I said, all right, here is the feedback. You can edit it. And so she changed it from neutral to positive. And I still followed up with no pressure. If you don't want to, I totally get it. I just want to make sure you're happy. And she was very happy to do it. So they're not going to be all like yours, and they're not going to all be like mine. But when you get the one like mine, if you take care of them like you should have in the first place, whoops, my bad. They'll do a good job. But yeah, so you know, neutral's no big deal, but you could have got it removed. So just in the future. Okay, let me get my notes up here. Where's my notes? Here's my notes. Okay, how long have you been listed on eBay?
Just close to 7 years.
Okay, all right. So I now, you know, if you were new, I wouldn't understand some of the things I saw. Because there's a few things that there's no uniformity between your listings. So I'm guess some things are left over from older times and some things are more modern. So let's look at this. Now, this is one of those things you would never know until I looked at your listing, but you have a dead photo in here. See this one right here? For some reason, it ain't showing up.
All right. Yeah, that's something I listed last night.
Okay. Yeah. So well, here, let's refresh. No, yeah. So whatever that photo is, you're going to have to delete that one and reinsert it.
All right.
All right. We're going to talk about it a little more coming up on a few things, but you're giving up too much real estate on this picture, and you're using the background croppy thingy, background croppy outy thingy. And I think that's part of giving up too much space because you have a lot of empty space around your item, which this should be bigger and fill the spot more. But I'll show you one of your items where I think you've given up about 50%. And that's, again, think about the people looking on their phones. Now, shipping's a little high on this. So first class here is fine. Canada, this would be about 10, 11 bucks a ship. So 21 and a quarter is on the high side. I charge 17, and I'm even thinking I should be knocking mine down a little bit to get a little bit more competitive because at 17, I'm making $6.
Yeah. After watching some of your other store reviews, I got to work on my international shipping and figure out how to adjust.
Yeah. Because I'm going to show you one of your listings that for the life of me, I cannot understand what happened. Okay. Wait till we get to that one. Cause, and then something you did made me laugh. So, it's quite an enjoyable, and I don't mean laugh like, like you screwed up. You'll see. But it was quite a fun.
It's all good
things to look through. And same with the UK. I charge 24, and again, it's only going to be like $17. So at 24, I make 7. So don't price yourself up where the people who use like global shipping are up there. Oh, hey, Mom. Hey, Mom. Good to see you, Mom. Now, I think this was uniform. 30-day returns through all your things. We always talk about 60-day. No one ever returns something at the 60-day return. And I didn't mean to actually demonstrate how true that is to everyone, but I just found an item that I opened a return on Amazon, and I had like 60 days to return it, and I'm at day like 80. Oops. So even when people start the return, half the time they don't even do it. Okay. So putting it to 60 days puts you higher in search and a lot of things you have are things that other people have. And so if 10 of you have this Gatlinburg Hard Rock Cafe t-shirt, you having 60 day will push you up higher than everybody else if no one else does 60 day.
All right.
Did I get myself back to the United States? There we go. And we'll go back to your description. Okay. So couple things I would do with your description. You're kind of writing the bullet points the way you should, but they're too long.
Mm-hmm.
So on this one, it should be guitar patch stitched on front right design. Enter. Next line. Accent design down left sleeve. Enter. Next line. And then your measurements. Now, writing it out like you have 24 inches, 60. It reads very long. Short and sweet and to the point.
All right.
Now, what's funny is one of your listings down the list here, you actually copied my my template.
Yep, that's when I first started.
And then you left it and made it tougher to read.
I was trying to simplify things instead of copy and pasting that, and then
and that's fine if you want to. To anybody, I don't care. But write it like this so it's easier to read, because you have this kind of flowing paragraph that when you look on the phone, especially, it isn't doot, it's flow. And so people's eyes are trying to find that measurement. Now, not everyone does that, but I'm a tall dude. All my height's in my torso. So when I'm looking for shirts, right away, I'm looking for the overall length. I'm looking for like that 33 and the quote mark. And if I have to read to figure out what I'm finding, I'm pretty like ADD. I'm like, I'm on to the next one.
Gotcha.
All right. Okay, so let's talk about this hat. Now, this is a snapback hat. I'm assuming everyone is aware of what a snapback is. That's a snapback. And the problem, though, is it's not in your title. Oh, it is in your style. I did miss it, so that's my bad. But I would definitely get it in the title. Unless you're... Oh, never mind. It's right there. My notes suck.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Never mind. Ignore that part. Okay, let's go back to angles. I don't know. I guess I just decided to skip that word 3 times. Okay, you're coming down on the top, and it really flattens it out. When you do the hat, and it's great you got the mannequin head. See how you can see the curve of the brim?
Yes.
So what you want to do is you want to come straight at and turn your mannequin head a little bit so you can see that curve. Because things like that, when you look at this photo, it actually kind of gives you depth and feeling for the hat. Yours ends up being a flat 2D photo. So don't come down. Now, you can have this picture as one of your pictures, that's for sure. But that first shot comes straight on at the angle a little bit, and it shows the curve of the brim, if there is one. Not all brims are curved just yet, but it gives it a little more depth.
Right. All right.
Now, also, you've got... Oops, that's mine. Oops. Okay. I'm going to reread this. I don't sound like an idiot again. Okay, you've got NASCAR and Chad Little in your title. And John Deere, obviously. So there's your John Deere. So for the theme, you've already got Chad Little and John Deere. Don't repeat words. There is no point at this point. But let's think, what other words could I use? Car racing would be the perfect theme words, because then people looking for car racing hats, yours will come up.
Right.
Because repeating the words, it didn't do you any good. It's fine. It's not wrong, but it's not getting any extra words in there.
Yeah, I copied another listing, and those were already in there.
Yep. So that goes for anything. If try and think of some other words. And look, I'm never one to ever tell anybody to keyword spam. So if it's a Coach purse, don't say,
Right.
Gucci. But sometimes, if you're selling a Don Henley thing, I throw the Eagles in my own specifics. It's not really an Eagles record, but he's a drummer of the Eagles. So, no one's coming after me for that. No one's busting my chops. All right. Yes, thank you. I deserved it. LOL. I missed that word 3 times. I read that title. I'm like, yep. Okay. Now, I am not a car guy. I'm going to guess you kind of are or are.
Yeah, I got a really good deal on a big bunch of them.
Okay.
I do.
So,
like it.
Now, unless I'm wrong, and this one I might be, but I don't think I am. NHRA and am I seeing things? Did you edit anything?
I did not change a thing.
I swear. Never mind. I'm losing my brain. Oh yeah. Okay, I am not. You have this in NASCAR for the category, and so NHRA and NASCAR are 2 totally different things. Phew. Thought I was losing it. I really thought I was losing it. So, did you do a sell similar on this one?
Possibly.
Okay, so that is the only downfall of sell similars. If they're in the wrong category and you never really look at that category, because most sell similars, they're gonna be in the right category. But this could bring up, this will bring it up under NASCAR, and Do I think there'll be a big problem? No, but could it be? And then it's just caused by being in the wrong category. Yeah. So, why not head off any potential problems at the pass? Make sure you're in the right category.
All right.
Phew. Phew. All right. I was losing my mind. Now, you did the big thing when you're listing is uniformity. This is nice. The box, the car. And we're going to go to another one in a bit. And you didn't do it this way. So I'm not sure if it's old or new and or new listings. But down here, same thing. You should, at where you have the periods, hit enter in the new line.
All right.
And then don't give the actual bullet points, but just write it like it would be bullet points.
All right. A lot of editing to do now.
But a lot of this would be easy. A lot of this is like, laptop on your lap, watching TV, enter, safe, So it's not like it's that big of work. Okay. Now this is what made me laugh. Okay. So you got 6 Elton John records. Every record has an A side and a B side. And your description said, I listened to the A sides. Now, why in the world would you go through the trouble listening to half and not the other half?
Because nobody typically cares about the B side.
Oh, you'd be wrong, sir.
Okay.
There's plenty of good stuff on B sides. 2 things. Some B sides, when you look at old 7-inches, old 45s from this era, every once in a blue moon, the B side's the bigger hit. And you're like, what happened there? And also, sometimes the B side, like this 7-inch, that might be the only place that B side single is on, is this 7-inch right here. And so, it's like you watched a movie halfway to check it out. Like, I'm good. Right. So if you are going to spot check them, you don't have to. You can I grade them, but if you are going to spot check them, at least drop the needle on the second side too, just to make sure.
All right.
Yeah, there's a prime example. So Queens, We Are the Champions is on side A, and We Will Rock You is on side B. I mean, you cannot get 2 bigger hits on one single. Thanks, Brian. Yep, but that's how it goes sometimes. And here, as you can see, we're talking about filling the square. All this space up top and down below is the space you're given. And so I would say about 33% of your picture area is just empty, blankness. Right. So what I would do is, instead of making it this 6 across the center this way, I would space them out a little bit and make it more of a square.
All right.
Fill that space up. Fill that space up good. Now, are you using a camera or a phone?
Phone. iPhone 11.
Okay, cool. So is this a newer listing or an older listing?
That one's newer.
Okay, so you've got to switch your phone to square settings. You're taking up and down rectangular photos.
All right.
So switch it. It'll the 12s now say square. I think the 11s say 1-to-1. It's 1 semicolon 1. Okay, same thing, either way. Mm-hmm. So going forward, just set it to square. It fills up that space nicely, and that way you are not giving up any real estate. Okay. Look how much space is empty. Now, think about looking at it on a phone. You're missing a lot. Now, with the CDs, especially compilations, you're going to pull out the best artists on that compilation. So for starters, you have the word gospel, and it is misspelled. So make sure to double check your spelling. But you don't even need funk, soul, and gospel is, and then audio. All those are all wasted words. Those are words that you don't need in there. Kingdom Come, even get rid of the and that semicolon. Soundtrack CD. Now look how big Kirk Franklin's name is on the cover, and you didn't put it in the title. That's telling you we got to mention it's Kirk Franklin. So if you don't know your gospel, Kirk Franklin is huge in terms of star in gospel music. So you want Kirk Franklin in your title. And then I know the artist pretty well back here. Jill Scott's pretty big. Carl Thomas is decent size. Mary Mary's decent size. Deborah Cox is pretty big. Tamara Braxton, Tony's sister, and also on TV. Crystal Lewis is pretty big. So there's tons of great artists on here. That's what your title should be filled with.
All right.
Because someone who likes Mary Mary, Mary Mary is a stupid one because it's a repetitive word. Someone who likes Deborah Cox, let's say, maybe they don't know she's on this soundtrack, and they're just looking for something by Deborah Cox. Boom, it'll find your soundtrack. Oh, look at that! See, I missed that one. Kirk Franklin was just in the news for a fight with his son. That must have been one hell of a fight if it made it to the news. But yeah, anytime you want to pull out the other artists on compilations and soundtracks. Okay, here's the weird one. Here's the one I cannot figure out. Everything else we've looked at, you ship all over the world. Are you ready for this one? This is of all the listings I've done, here's the four options. Canada, Greenland. Oh, you guys can't see that. Hold, please. Sorry. The way I have it set. Hold on. Yeah, you can't see the way I had it set up. Share screen. Entire screen. There we go. You have four options: Canada, Greenland, Mexico, and the US. Like, how is Greenland one of the options? I don't even understand that. Because I don't even understand where you can check off just Greenland. This one makes like no sense. Like, I love when I can figure things out. Yeah, I don't know. You can do Canada, just Canada. You can do Mexico, but then it's like Europe, Asia. I don't think you can just pick Greenland. So how you did, I don't know.
I don't know either on that one.
So that's I don't know. So look into that one, because I do know I see you ship worldwide. So yeah, definitely get that fixed up. Okay, so I have never heard of this brand of shirt before, which is odd because I know pretty well my Hawaiian shirts. But you see how small the shirt is in that picture?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Now, what's going on here? This is called Tapa or Tapa pattern. So that's what you want to use instead of the word geometric.
All right.
Oh, actually, I meant to have up a graphic. Hold, please. Here we go. Here are our Tapa patterns. Now, in legit Tapa, what they do is they actually stamp the pattern on the cloth. Now, these modern shirts, they're all built into the cloth, but that's what it is. And so that's kind of the terms you want to use, because that's what's happening on this shirt. It's a very cool shirt. Like I said, I don't know the brand. Waterblocks, Oceanside, California, USA. Now, it's funny they put USA right there, and then hey, made in China right there.
Yeah.
I called them a liar. Okay, so other things that you want to make mention of, and you're going to definitely want to do some close-ups. You have a lot of good Hawaiian shirts. You never have a close-up of the buttons. And the couple that I was kind of bouncing through, they are coconut buttons. So that is a key selling point, which I don't think you mentioned.
Yeah, some of them, it's hard for me to tell. Some of them look like they could be plastic to look like coconut, and then some I definitely know they are coconut, so I put it in the listing.
Yeah, these I could tell is definitely coconut. Good job on mentioning the match pocket. Oh, Elisa, there's my funny. I'm going to tap on that. All right. And what else did I have for this one? Where am I? Oh, and then this one. See, this is where like that whole thing with the Greenland. This one does not offer returns. And then scratching my head again, because everything else you had has the returns.
Some of those lower value ones, I sometimes just don't offer returns, because if it gets returned, then I'm losing money. But
okay, but don't base your life on ifs.
All right.
What if a bus drove through your house right now and killed your whole family? Now, it's not going to happen. Could it? Yeah. But you can't live your life like that. So just because you're selling, your customer who buys a $100 item should get the same service as your customer who buys a $10 item.
All right. I
see this and I'm like, oh, I like that shirt, but you don't offer returns. I'm not buying from them. Because everywhere we shop, for the most part, we can return stuff. And so make sure that you excite your customer with your terms of service. Look, returns really hardly happen.
Right.
When you look at the overall percentage throughout my year, it's like it wouldn't even show up on a pie chart. Okay. So long. Oh my God. I was just about to say, as long as you describe it properly. Apparently Brian's writing my script for me. That was too funny. And then let me see, go back down here. Okay. So yeah, so you did have the inches and centimeters. That's good. But yeah, just because And I get it, but don't worry about it. It'll happen. But then that next day, something will sell for way more than it should. Like we sold a statue today. The last one sold for 70. I'm like, let's throw it at 100, and then we can take offers and put it on sale. And someone bought it for 100. Nice. So today I made $30 more than I should have. So if tomorrow I got a deal to return, it all kind of works out in the wash. Okay, now we're going to talk about keyword enhancing instead of spamming. We'll call it enhancing. So Binion's poker tournament turned into the World Series of Poker. So even though this technically isn't the World Series of Poker, I would absolutely put it in your item specifics. So it does come up when people are searching for World Series of Poker stuff. Now, I'll give you the quick history. When whoever owns it right now, Caesars, I don't know, whatever entity in Vegas bought it, they bought Binion's, the whole casino, so they could get the tournament. They got rid of the horseshoe, and then they sold Binion's, and they kept the tournament. I mean, it's crazy. That's how it works around here in Vegas. When people want something, they buy the whole business, take the little piece, and sell the rest. So that's turned into the World Series of Poker, and that's for sure what you want to put on in your listing down here in item specifics. Oops. So just add a custom and put event for the header, and then the World Series of Poker. Now, you have 0 pictures inside this coat. You should always have at least one opened up. Is it lined? Is there a pocket?
Yeah, there was nothing inside to actually photograph some. Maybe that's why I didn't.
But people are going to look. People who are looking for specific satin vintage jackets are like, I need to see the inside, because I remember the one I had this. And so at least have, now you don't have a mannequin with arms. I do. So my assistant does this with a mannequin. It's pretty cool.
Right. Yeah.
But so just open it up, turn it back, and then take that shot. I don't know where the chat went to, but now we're talking about Boston Market pie. We have taken one hell of a turn in the chat.
Yesterday was Pie Day.
Yeah. Too funny. All right. Bum. Okay. Because now this photo I absolutely like. However, you used the background removal. And so when you look at this, it's just a postcard, basically. You can't even get the feel that this is this kick-ass, nice, thick tin, even though I know it says poker chip set, and it doesn't even say the cards in the title. I didn't see that before. This is much better. Now, for your opening shot, I would do this whole angle because you do it here.
Right. Yeah.
So see that whole uniformity thing, you did it perfect here. You can see the depth of this item. And so this is fine, but I would come a little bit more over the top so you can see more of the top better, but show how big and thick and meaty this is. All right. And then based on the measurements, this could fit in a padded flat rate envelope, unless your measurements are wrong. I'm going to guess they're not.
No, they shouldn't be.
So they could fit in a padded flat rate envelope for under $9, and you've got 1135 parcel select ground. Now, if you watched last week's, parcel select ground is a thing of the past. You shouldn't be using it at all, because let's say this was too big for a padded flat rate. You have to go regular priority. Regular priority compared to parcel select ground is either going to be the same, a little bit less, or a little bit more, but it's always under $1. So you're hurting your own business by saying the worst shipping when the best shipping, well, not the best, that'd be overnight, but the almost best shipping is going to be within 50 cents of this.
Right. Typically, yeah, it probably hurts me when people are searching. But my philosophy at the time was let them pay the parcel rate, and I typically ship it out priority because the price is really similar.
Right. And I hear that so much, but what you and others don't ever think about is in the long run, when people are sorting by how quick they can get something, you'll be at the bottom of the list every single time. So, and yeah, this will fit. So what I would do is 2 strong pieces of cardboard with it in the middle, slide it right in the padded flat rate, boom, you're good. And that's under $9. It'll get to them in 2 to 3 days. Give back your cake. Man, you guys are, I'm hungry now. Stop it. Stop it. Okay, now uniformity. So this is a great shot. That's your opening photo. But however, I would definitely have it with the truck, like you did with your funny cars and your NASCAR things.
Right.
You're going to take that amount, take a picture. So that first shot should be this awesome, nice angle, and then the truck sitting right in front of it.
Gotcha.
And that way too, because here's the other thing. Most buyers never get past picture one. So you might as well show them the whole thing as much as you can in the first picture, and then still take them because you need to. And the algorithm favors things with more than, one picture. But definitely get that in your first picture too.
All right.
Okay, cool. Okay, that is not a Hawaiian shirt. Just because there's a good lesson. We haven't had one of these before. Just because it's Tori Richard, it does not mean it's a Hawaiian shirt. That is a camp shirt. It's just a solid black shirt with something on the back. So don't misuse Hawaiian.
All right.
Because you have it in the title and your item specifics. Now, what's the here's, let me show everyone the picture. Now, when I zoom in, I don't know if this has to do with the background removal. It's kind of blurry. And so I don't think that's your camera because the 11's a nice camera. I think it's the background removal is making it a little blurry because that's a lot better. Okay. So everyone in the chat, here's your question. I always got to find one to ask you guys. What is this? Now I know it's a picture of a martini, but what's the kind of the key word that Matt is missing in his title here?
Yeah.
Do I hear whispering?
Oh, my wife's sitting next to me watching.
I know she can speak up. I know I can hear her there.
Hi, Jason.
All right. So let's see here. Liquor? No, but not a bad word. Alcohol? Nope. Stemmed? Nope. Vodka? Nope. Olive? Nope. What is this picture of? What's happening here?
Martini glass.
Right, but what's all the rest of it?
I don't know what you do.
That's what I'm trying to pull out of you and everyone else.
Recipe? Or
kinda. So this whole thing's a blueprint. How to make a martini. So that's going to be the key word there. 007. Now that would be keyword spamming. That for sure would be a no. Yes, that is no. It's not a polo shirt. It's actually a button up. The blueprint of the perfect martini. That's how I would write it.
All right.
Because it's telling you the glass is chilled. Here's the height of the perfect glass. Here's the width. So it's giving you that is the blueprint to the perfect martini. So yeah, so just to show Kevin here, it is a button down with the martini recipe on the back. Oh, I think those are coconut buttons too.
So what's your opinion on the Lazy Susan on the bottom of my mannequin?
That doesn't bother me.
Okay.
Makes it easier for you taking pictures, yeah?
Yeah.
Yep, that doesn't bother me. Don't bother me in the least. So now I want to know what goes into a martini. Well, it's pretty much just vodka. Oh, wait, let me see these buttons. I didn't realize you had a close-up. Maybe they're mother of pearl buttons now I look at them. Yeah, I think they're mother of pearl buttons now that I look a little closer. All right, so the ingredients, quality gin or vodka and vermouth. That's all it is a martini. And then olives or onions make it a Vesper, I think. Shake or stir with ice cubes, strain and pour. Garnishes 1 to 2 green olives with pimento or a lemon twist. Or like I said, you can switch it to, I think it's called a Vesper when it's onion. There you go. Now everyone's learned how to make martinis. Not real hard. Okay. This one also made me chuckle a little bit. Okay, now look at this. If you take out how much space isn't being used, I bet you're giving up at least 50% in this picture.
Yeah.
Get up on your ashtray. Now, John Esquiaga's Nugget, Reno area's largest. What? You weren't curious? It's got to be the largest something. And that should definitely be in the title.
Whoops.
I mean, curiosity would have killed me if I had largest what? An actual nugget? No, it's a casino in Reno. So definitely would have casino, hotel casino in your title for sure.
All right.
When you put a box in a padded envelope, well, Bubble Fast makes the Scotty Stuffer, which is a box specifically for the padded envelope. Is a thinner cardboard, but still offers good protection. What I was suggesting to Matt was just take 2 pieces of thick cardboard. You don't even got to make the box. Put the first one in, put that like Jack Daniels thing in, second one on top, and it'll get so tight, the Jack Daniels thing won't be moving anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but it's nice and thick now and strong. Yes, not the world's largest chicken McNugget. Yeah. So on things like that, definitely finish the sense, which I thought was odd that they don't even have a casino in the ashtray. But yeah, definitely finish that sense because people look for things from the Nugget Casino. So you got the Reno, you got the dude's name, you got the Nugget, but definitely you want casino. And if you can fit it, hotel.
All right.
Okay. So this, I like this hat. Nothing specific, just super jock. I absolutely love this hat. And the one thing you don't have anywhere is the brand YA. You took a picture of it. Now, let me see if I misread. Let me try. Let me double check. Nope, you don't have it. And so that is a famous, vintage brand, the YA brand from Korea. So
I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, definitely get that in there because this is the kind of thing where people are like, okay, I like hats from YA. I like hats from Nippon, I think is another one. So people like their favorite vintage brand hat. And so they might just be looking for that hat and nothing specific. And then they roll across your cool little super jock. I like that. That is so like weirdly dated, but I think it's cool as hell.
Somebody bought that for me when I was a kid playing football.
Wow, you've had it all this time?
I've had it since the late 70s, early 80s.
That is awesome. Yeah, Kevin, that's another good point. You could shrink wrap the cardboard sandwich. And we're back to food, and I'm still hungry. Stop it, everybody. Stop it. Largest chicken nugget. Okay, so let's look at we'll end on your 3 oldest. And pretty much on all 3 of these, the first 2, they're just boring.
Yeah.
And so I have found that the boring ones, now with this one, barely, the graphic on the back is better. So I would use that. Now, with the collage app, the Pick Collage app, I would probably do a split front and back because neither one's all that exciting. So maybe the 2 together in the first picture, someone might get a smidge more excited. Okay. Yeah, there's not much to do with this one. Some of the graphics are awesome. This one is just there.
That's my old background too. Before I had a white background.
Yeah. So maybe redo the title a little bit. Do a pick collage. And I get why you got the dashes. I guess the dashes aren't bad. You could spell it Arizona. Get rid of black because 2 things: A, your eyes will see it as black, and then B, black should be down here. Item specifics, which is right there. Which are already covered. So spell it Arizona. Maybe someone's looking to collect every single one in Arizona. eBay search will not read AZ as Arizona. So, so that could be help on that one. This jersey, there's nothing really wrong with it. I'm just like,
didn't fit the mannequin really well.
Oh, so what size was extra large and medium? Yeah. Yeah. So it's one of those things where depending on how long you've had it, you might just be like, and I'm donating them. Now, you're in Tacoma. Does it have a Buffalo Exchange in Tacoma?
I don't believe so, but I haven't looked.
Okay, because Buffalo Exchange and then like Plato's Closet, the kind of places that buy clothes, even on the boring Harley stuff, they'll still give you a couple bucks for it. Right. So this is the kind of thing where, okay, I've had these too long. I have the options of both Plato's and Buffalo Exchange here. I would throw them in a box and then run them up to the first store. If they didn't like it, I could take them to the other store. If they didn't like it, then it's in my garage sale at that point.
All right. Yeah, we do have Plato's Closet.
Okay. Yeah, you can try that. And then finally, for buzzwords, for keywords, you actually missed a word written on the shirt. Aloha Maui. So the shirt from Maui. So definitely get that in there. And everything else was fine. Now, here's the one thing, and this is a good example for everybody. Aloha Fashion is a fine brand, but it is not any brand that anyone's ever searching for. So it's a good word to have, but if you look, you got Aloha in your title twice. You definitely don't need it twice. Right. So you can either just leave Aloha shirt in there or leave Aloha Fashion, but just move it down to the end. Tommy Bahama, Tori Richard, Hilo Hattie. Those are all fine at the beginning, but Aloha Fashion, no one's ever like, oh man, I need some Aloha Fashion shirts. It's one of those brands that they just pick the words that were generic to what it is too. And that always makes it a little trickier. So if nothing else, push that to the end of the title because it's not that important. But it's great. You got motorcycle and you got chopper, so that's all good. But yeah, throw Maui in there since they pretty much called it out. Mm-hmm. And it's not a bad shirt, but it's just not an exciting shirt. But anytime you jazz up a title, reconfigure your title, maybe change one picture, it reinvigorates it in the listings too. So
this one actually did re-photograph it. It had that dark green background, but still hasn't helped. It hasn't sold yet.
And again, and this is the prime example of some things that we buy that that seemed good at one point, just ended up not being good. Yep. And that's why I do my duds, every week on Thrifty Business, because I like to demonstrate to everybody, especially new sellers, that, hey, I've been doing this for 21 years. I still make mistakes. And maybe didn't make it when I bought it, but if I didn't list it quick enough, it seemed good at the time. And now it's 3 years later and the Jonas Brothers are broken up. Then my Jonas Brothers shirts aren't that good anymore. They'd probably be good now, but back then I waited too long and no one cared. And then I just, I donated them to Savers, back to Savers. So, but overall, you do have kind of a theme. So I hope in the Secret Beach now you start to branch out. You definitely have a theme. You got your hats, the car stuff, music.
My most recent big auction buys, there's a lot of hats that all came together and all those cars, all the bears, so.
Yep. I'm not 100% sure this hat came this way. Oh my gosh. All right. I don't know what's happening. It says my phone's ringing, but there's not. What? Look at this. My phone's going crazy.
It's an H1.
And it's not ringing.
As right as you walk in the door on the top right.
All right. Sorry. I don't know what that was.
No worries. Your show.
I don't think I'm not 100% sure this hat came like this.
My wife just grabbed it. Let me take a look.
I was trying to figure out if someone added this decal to this patch of this hat.
Well, it possibly could. Well, it's stitched through the lining, so it could have been an put on afterwards. And now that I look at it, it doesn't look real straight.
Yeah. So because I'm looking at the tag too, and I'm like, man, that just does not read as a NASCAR hat to me. This page boy kind of hat. I'm just like, it could be. I mean, every brand tries different things because not everyone likes the same thing. But man, it just didn't read as a NASCAR to me. Now, not that it's wrong. You can sell things with patches on it, but I just want to let you know, I'm not 100% sure it's a NASCAR item. It's just someone added a patch to a hat. So
should I change the listing in a way to just let them know that, or?
I don't think so. I think you're fine. I just want to give you a heads up in case the customer says, hey, I don't think, and if you just said it's a little crooked, if it's a little crooked, you're like, maybe I'll just pull it.
Yeah.
Or throw that up on Facebook Marketplace. It's one of those things where someone buys it locally, like, cool. They can see it in their hand before they walk away. That kind of thing. Every once in a while when I get something, I'm like, I thought it was that and it wasn't. Yeah, if someone wants it locally and they see it, we meet in a parking lot and they see it and they're cool, cash, buy, it's over. All right, and that's it. Overall, looks really good. You got a nice looking store. Your titles look really nice. Yeah, I just fine tuning some stuff, but yeah, you've got the general vibe overall, and I'm excited to see where your store goes from there.
All right. Well, thank you. Appreciate that.
You're welcome. And I don't know who's next, but yeah, reboot. So a person was texting me and they said, "Oh, I bumped FaceTime, but it wasn't coming through." So I was like, "Yikes, what's happening here?" Matt's wife, you want to say hi since we all heard you whispering?
Hi, y'all. I don't need to be on camera.
Stick your head in a wave. All right, everyone give Matt's wife's hand a big thumbs up. So thank you for being in the hot seat tonight. Good to see everybody in the chat. And just keep up the good work.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful evening. I almost had it ready. Almost. There we go.